Hey, what is up, Lion Pride? Welcome to another episode of Dream Interpretation with a Hypnotherapist. Had a weird one on TikTok today that I wanted to follow up a little bit with on YouTube right here. Maybe you're seeing it on Instagram, but you can see the full video on YouTube over on my profile. Here's the thing. A lot of people don't know, but actually it was very common practice in 1700s England for women on the eve of Valentine's Day to place 5 bay leaves underneath their pillow, one on each corner, one in the middle, in the hopes that when they went to sleep on Valentine's Eve night, they would dream of their future spouse when they woke up the next day. Now, obviously, this sounds like witchcraft. This sounds like some kind of voodoo sort of nonsense. However, there may be more truth to it than you would believe. Here's why. A lot of research has been done, and actually it's pretty common practice in my therapy and a lot of other therapies around the country, around the world, to use dreams and intention to give us some insight into what's taking place in the unconscious mind. So what would often happen is these women in 1700s would set their intention and they would be consciously thinking about, I'm going to put these bay leaves under my pillow. I'm going to engage in this ritual in order to gain some insight into this is who I want my partner, my spouse to be in the future. It's actually not that crazy. You can do the same thing today. And let me explain why it works here. When you set your intention consciously, your unconscious mind will actually respond. So if I go to bed and I say, hey, tonight I would like to vent out my feelings about, pick a relative, pick a spouse, whatever, right? I want to vent out my feelings about my job, per se. And then I write down, tonight I will vent out my feelings about my employment. And then I close that book, put it on the side of my table, and I go to sleep. What will happen is I have cued my mind as to what I would like to understand better while I sleep. And then when I go to bed, my conscious mind shuts down. It releases those defenses of conscious repression. And then I'm now able to feel and experience through my dreams whatever unfiltered emotional content is going to come out. This is the same thing that happened in England with these women on the eve of Valentine's Day. They would set their intention, they would go through this ritual that was cueing their unconscious mind. They would go to sleep and they would probably dream about whoever they were consciously repressing, but they actually had some feelings for. And so then, through the power of their own, unconscious will and drive, they'd be like, oh my God, it was Johnny the whole time. And they would probably go and, be flirty with Johnny. And it would probably work out because now they're adding some conscious effort to that relationship because they're like, oh my God, I love him. So not as crazy as you might think. And you can even use it for your day-to-day questions that you have yourself. If you want to know more, I have some information and some ways to walk through how to do these type of things in some content that I've created. I actually have like a dream journal that you can purchase and use and kind of, ask your dreams questions of your own. But one last thing before I sign off. This actually has a lot of hypnotherapy components to it as well. The reason that hypnotherapy works so effectively is when somebody comes into the office and sits down for hypnotherapy, there's already a lot of intentions being set. This is the same with regular counseling as well. You have to find a therapist, schedule an appointment, pay for the appointment, drive to meet, or at least turn on your video chat software, meet with a therapist, and for an hour, consciously discuss that thing that you want to know more about. And what happens there is, when you're by yourself, you don't have to set the same level intention. You don't have to put that much effort into it when you're talking about things on your own. So by having someone else involved, whether they're actually helping or not, you actually are going to receive better insight and information because by having another person involved, it makes you more intense about that situation. It's why friends are so important. It's why having coworkers is so important. It's why having good people that you are in collaboration with is so important because when you add another person to what you are doing, it makes you put that much more effort into it because there's a little bit of added like peer pressure. So same thing with dreams, same thing with work, same thing with the therapy that you're trying to get, and the same thing with putting bay leaves under your pillow in 1700 England. I hope this helps. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. I love you guys. Peace.